All right, so here's my question for you. Okay, so a baseball bat and a ball, they cost a combined $1.10. Okay, if the bat is exactly $1 more than the ball, how much does the ball cost? If you said 10 cents, you're wrong. But you're also right along with about 90% of the population. If you want to hear more about that, stick around for MysterE's, and I am Mr. E. So what you just experienced is something called fast thought. Okay, an incredible behavioral economist. Am I saying that? Is that a word? I don't know. Whatever. Named Daniel Kahneman wrote a book called Thinking Fast and Slow, and he used this exact example. You have $1.10 for a baseball bat and a ball. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does a ball cost? Over 90% of people will say 10 cents. If they have a few moments to think about it, they're going to say 10 cents. That's not the answer. The answer is actually 5 cents. The baseball bat is $1.05. The ball is 5 cents for a grand total of $1.10. If you take $1.05 minus 5, you get $1, which is the difference between the bat and the ball. But most people will immediately go to 10 cents because that is that's just the quick and easy solution to the problem. Kahneman calls this thinking fast. Okay. Thinking fast is our intuitive thought. It's our impulsive thought. A lot of times we'll say it's our gut feeling or our mother's intuition, right? And this thought process is incredibly important to us. And in fact, it's so important to us. Get this, we make 38,000 or so decisions in a day. 98% of those are based off of thinking fast or intuitive thought. So it's incredibly important. It is a little error prone, but we need it to work fast. So that's thinking fast. So what is thinking slow? Thinking slow is going to be our critical thinking skills, so our critical thought. And of that 38,000 decisions that we're making a day, only 2% of those decisions are going to be based off of using critical thought. Critical thought is much slower. Kahneman goes on and he talks about how our brains are really designed to immediately default into thinking fast. So we naturally go to this very instinctive sort of gut reaction type of decision making. Whereas thinking slow or critical thought, that takes a lot more effort, a lot more brain energy, and it's not nearly as natural to us. You might not be surprised by this, but if you have ever walked in to purchase something and all of a sudden you decide to have this little impulse buy, that impulse buy is this shift to immediate, impulsive, instinctive thought, that thinking fast. And it's not good for those situations. I'll give you an example. Okay. As a school teacher, I actually test my students on this stuff all the time, but I'll ask you another question. If you were going to purchase a set of earbuds or whatever they're called, right? Earbuds. And I were to tell you that you had plenty of money and you could buy a set of earbuds for $100. Okay. And those are located about, 4 or 5 blocks from your house to go purchase. But you could drive 3 to 4 miles to purchase the same earbuds for $85. And you had a mode of transportation, that sort of thing. Would you drive the 3 to 4 miles to save the $15? Most people would say, yeah, I mean, it's 3 miles, no big deal, saving $15, good deal. Okay, that's thinking fast, no problem, right? Logical, actually. So kind of, critical thinking. Yeah, good stuff, right? But then if I were to ask you this, you were looking to purchase a car, okay? The car in your hometown costs $20,000, okay? You with me? Now, the same car 90 miles away costs $19,500. You either would say 90 miles, that's a long ways to go, or you might say it's going to take more time, or I'm using gas money, that sort of thing. And you might be hesitant to take that trip. But as Kahneman says, as a behavioral economist, there we go, as a behavioral economist, he says it's a no-brainer. You take the trip. The earbuds are only saving you $15. The trip for the car is saving you $500. So even though, yes, it is a 90-mile drive, we oftentimes instinctually go immediately to the proportional. It's a $20,000 car. What's $300, $400, $500, right? What's the big deal? Well, you think about it, you're saving $485 more by driving to the store the car dealership 90 miles away than driving 3 miles to buy the earbuds. So logically speaking, it makes much more sense to drive the 90 miles. But again, we go into that instinctive thought. And as soon as we go into that instinctive thought, we don't think rationally about the situation. That's why whenever you're like thinking about long-term purchases, that sort of stuff, you have to logically process it. You take, like, if you're going to purchase that car and you say that car costs $20,000, it's totally within my budget. Well, really, a car that costs you $20,000, unless you're paying straight cash, it's going to cost you like $29,000 with all the tax, title, license, and then the loan that you're taking out and the interest that accrues on the loan, that sort of thing. It's a whole lot more than $20,000. But we don't always think about that because we instinctively go to thinking fast and intuitive thought. So those are a couple of the main concepts that I wanted to talk about. But as we are going into an election year, this is something to think about and actually to witness as we go through this political year. Politics is incredibly frustrating, but it's also, for me, it's incredibly entertaining because they're so full of BS. It's absolutely crazy, right? But this is what I want you to think about. I want you to think about, when has a politician actually talked to the people about a real, true policy? They don't. Because thinking about policy is needing your populace to critically process that information. They don't want that. Politicians want you to act out emotionally and intuitively. So all they're going to do is give you the snippets of those keywords and hot button phrases that get you to go along with their agenda. Yet they really don't give you a whole lot of policy to base your decision off of. But just take a look at that. When, they just came out with the debate's going to be happening at some point in time in the future. And just think about that when you're listening to the debate. How much do they actually really talk about something that matters? It's really quite crazy. So totally fascinating. But anyway, thinking fast and slow, Daniel Kahneman, incredible book. Check it out. And always check me out on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Instagram, all the other sites that we have out there. Check us out, MysterE's. And also thank you to our director and producer, Bear Wade, with Creative Unify Agency. Make sure if you are looking for somebody to start your business and get your marketing going, he is the guy. Bear Wade at Creative Unify Agency. Thanks once again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.